Good morning, Converter Crew. Welcome in. Hopefully, y'all are doing well today. We're back in it for another live stream. Checking some stuff out. Had a little bit of a run up into yesterday, and then yesterday mostly just traded sideways. We started to get a little bit of breakout in the beginning of the day, and then a little bit later in the day, but neither were really full on breakout, so we weren't really able to get into either of them. Kind of watched this one as well. But yeah, overall, kind of just trying to just trade it sideways for the entire day, forming somewhat of a flag here to the side, somewhat of a cup and handle, I guess, if you really look at the bigger time frames. But yeah, overall, just a lot of sideways movement here after that spike up, kind of out of what we're thinking to be the bottom here. But yeah, we'll jump into that, cover that, and see what we think of it here on the live. Looks like we got a couple people in here, so welcome Kathleen, welcome Cherry, welcome Spirit Maker. Thanks for joining. Good morning to y'all. Yeah, looks like I got a few more also who haven't jumped into the chat, but yeah, thanks for joining the live. Yeah, we'll be checking some stuff out, see what we can get into, see what the chart looks like after we kind of got it set up. You can see we got some different levels on here kind of built out from yesterday's price action move, and we just got some levels kind of set up here. So yeah, we'll actually use this chart a little bit cleaner. Got some of our other stuff on it. Go ahead and get rid of this. And we'll this will be changed up here in a second. So yeah, this looks a little cleaner. You can kind of see the chart kind of flagging off to the side here. Really just a lot of sideways price action here. Could see that all of today. Who knows? We'll see what happens. We do have a little bit of cup and handle here, like I was saying. So you got the cup here, and then that flag that we were just looking at, that's kind of the handle that we were looking at. Trading off to the side. Typically those break to the upside. You could also say it's like a reverse Adam and Eve. You got your Adam and then your Eve here, with a little bit of a weird dip here in the middle. Yeah, I mean, overall though, not a whole lot really here on the price action. Really, we'll have to kind of jump into it, get our levels set up, and see what today looks like overall. So yeah, hopefully y'all got your coffee this morning. You got ready to jump into the charts. We're gonna head on over to Kubroder.com and see what we got going. All right, so we're on Kubroder.com. We got our market radar pulled up. It's this tab right here in blue. Now we got it up though. You can see BTC doesn't have long today. We don't got a short today. And we don't have a long or short on Solana or Ethereum as well. So really overall not looking really like anything today. Looking like a lot of sideways price action. We got death chop on pretty much every zone, zest zone, I guess, on each chart, each coin. Is really just into the death zone. So really a lot of sideways price action, not a whole lot of movement today. It's essentially what that's saying. We'll go ahead and set up the chart anyways though. So we'll set up Bitcoin first here, and we'll head back to our chart, drop it in there. Open up our hybrid, open up our level strand here, and go ahead and paste our new levels in. And this is what we're looking like for today. So you can see we got our bottom here. This is our breakdown level here in purple. We got our breakout level here in green. In red is our daily resistance, and then the blue down here is our daily support. You can see those gaps are not that great. We got about a 0.24 on the top, and for the bottom we got about got about a 0.28. So really nothing great. Typically on Bitcoin, we look for over 0.25. So on this particular day, it's looking like a lot of sideways chop price action. You're not going to see price really go out of these ranges, and if you do, it's going to be kind of against our system, so we're not going to be looking to trade it or take it up or anything. Just, yeah, a lot of sideways. We were actually hoping that today would continue the fire that we got kind of started yesterday. We were thinking maybe we'd trade sideways quite a bit and then look at launching off. Yesterday setup was pretty good, so that's why we were actually watching a lot of these different setups here, kind of running into it, because we were thinking we would fire. And I can show you yesterday's setup. So we've been working on this new indicator so we can see the different levels here, especially on the stream. So something like this is what yesterday's levels were at. Oh, there it is. Yeah, so you can see we got our breakout trigger here, and then we got our daily resistance way down here. Technically daily support right now, but we call it daily resistance because that's the name we've given it. And it is way down here, but that's still what we'll call it, because otherwise we'd have two daily supports, and that would get confusing. So we'll go ahead and measure it, and you can see we had about a 2.77% gap, a little higher than we might have liked, but still pretty good gap there. And it's a what we would call a jailbreak trade. So that basically means that typically it means that it's within the range of the breakout and breakdown zones, so it'd be inside these two. But we'd also consider a break or a jailbreak if it's below. Basically, if it's just below the breakout, and if the daily support is above the breakdown, then that would be a jailbreak to the downside. So essentially, this is still a jailbreak trade. That's why we're looking for a decent move to the upside. We were figuring today might come in and show us even better move, but unfortunately, it's not looking like that today. So yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at today. Just not a whole lot of interesting stuff really happening here on the market. Yeah, I mean, overall that's really it. Moving out to that daily, we can kind of check out where we're at here on, not even on this. Let's go to the investment tab. We can see where we're at here on as far as the crypto winter line goes, that we continue to talk about here at 70,500-ish area. And we're actually sitting right below it. The 21's kind of starting to curl right under price action back up through this 50% flip line that we've been kind of looking at. So it's looking like we've kind of found a bottom here and are continuing. Typically what we'll say when we're looking at a just like basic trend for the markets is that if you see higher lows and higher highs, then you're looking at an uptrend. And if you see the opposite, so lower lows, lower highs, then you're looking at a downtrend. What's that mean? Well, basically that means that we'll say here, pretty good example. So say we're looking at price action, just kind of in this section here. If you can see we have a higher high right here. So higher high, and then you have a higher low, and then a higher low. And what that means is just that this low is higher than this low, and this low is higher than this low. And same thing for the high. So you have a higher high, and then you have an even higher high. And then you can see trend flips after that. So basically from this high now, so instead of these ones here, we'll move on, and now we're seeing a higher high here, and then a lower high, and then we continue down, and we have an even lower high around here somewhere. So basically, you can tell that price is continuing down here. So you have a downtrend, and that's the basics of TA, I guess. Basically, if you can draw a line between the two highs here and you can see that the slope is downwards, then that means we're in a downtrend. And if you do the opposite, or if you do it and it's the opposite, like we're going upwards, then we're in an uptrend. That's very basics, I guess. But you can see here we're starting to see that uptrend forming with the higher lows and then the higher highs. So we're kind of continuing up in this channel. If we stay in this, we'll continue to continue up. So we'll see what happens here, but it is looking like we're seeing somewhat of a bottom here forming. You're kind of seeing this nice cupping kind of form here. That's also a good sign that we'll continue to kind of run to the upside. So we'll see what happens as we continue. We're looking for this line to kind of we're looking for our closes to kind of stay above this 50% flip line and start kind of breaking out, and hopefully head back up into the higher ranges of Bitcoin. You know, 90,000. I mean, 95, 90, 100,000, somewhere around there. We're looking to climb out of this and continue up. It's looking more and more likely as we kind of go. That bottom we just formed was a pretty decent bottom, and then we'll cover that in the recaps, or in the, sorry, not the recap, in our video coming out here at 10. So if you want to check that out, we'll talk all about some different levels that we've been looking at, and just different, well, we have like one TA tips, but also just kind of looking at the bigger time frames and breaking it down, and also kind of going back and looking at what BTC kind of did over the weekend and into Monday. So yeah, if you guys are interested, make sure you check that out. It comes out here at 10. Should be a good watch, and just some good TA lessons on there. So overall, kind of just running sideways today. It's not looking super interesting. Just a lot of sideways action. We can kind of check out Solana and Ethereum as well while we're on here. And then we'll probably close the stream out at around 9. Nothing too interesting, like I said. So not a whole lot to kind of cover today. More than likely, we'll probably see some better stuff tomorrow. It does look like we're kind of coming out of this slow month we've kind of been in. March, has been a pretty slow, pretty boring month. A lot of chop, a lot of sideways, a lot of just not really following TA, I guess. Or maybe not following it, but just very not great TA, I guess. It's just not great. I mean, overall though, we'll check it out and see what we got. So we'll head back to Broda. We'll start off with Solana. So we'll go ahead and copy the data over here on the right side. You can see the little data button. We'll go ahead and click on that and head back to TradeView here, and we'll go ahead and enter our stuff. Open up settings, highlight all of it, and then paste our new stuff in there. I go ahead and move our lines around, it's looking pretty much the same. You can see not a lot of gap on the downside. This one does have pretty close to 0.5. However, on Solana, we're wanting a little bit more than 0.5. I don't remember the exact number, but I know it's closer to 0.1 than 0.5 for sure. So overall, Solana not looking too great. To the upside, we got really nothing. It's like probably almost 15% gap here. So, and we can go ahead and measure it. It's close to that. All right. Got about a 16% gap there. So nothing too great here on Solana as well. Just a lot of sideways trading. you can see we're in somewhat of a similar pattern. You're kind of seeing a little bit of an uptrend here on Solana, kind of breaking down now, with the top kind of forming here as well. So typically this pattern breaks to the upside. Not to say that we couldn't break to the downside. And what we could see today is a little bit of a break to the downside and start to flip and kind of come back into it. And then tomorrow we'll see that fire off. Or maybe, you know, we'll start to break down. We'll see a little bit of a breakdown tomorrow. We'll see. All depends on what's going to happen here. So I'm going to go ahead and delete these lines here and delete our trades. So that's kind of Solana's case there. We'll go ahead and look at Ethereum as well. Ethereum, you can see same kind of pattern forming. You got the lower or higher highs over here, kind of continuing to come in. You got somewhat of a flat top. I would almost say it's more like this, kind of a classic flag forming off of this nice pull here. Starting to get near the end. It's also starting to show signs of breaking down. I guess you could drop it a little bit lower, maybe something more like that. So we'll just see what happens here. There is a jailbreak technically on ETH. However, the gap is not that big. Oh, this. I haven't updated this. That's right. Gets confusing when you get multiple charts, I guess. So we'll go ahead and update this, see what it actually is. I was looking at it, I was like, that's not right for today, because that's actually a pretty decent trade to the downside, I believe. We're looking at a 0.57, not too bad. And then to the top, it's looking really good. So yeah, it's definitely not today's. We'll go ahead and grab it. So we'll head to Kubota.com again. We'll go to Ethereum here, and we're going to click on data, and we'll go ahead and paste that back into our indicator here. So click on the indicator, click on settings, and go ahead and highlight all that and paste your new stuff in there. And that's looking a little better, more like today's gaps. You can see we got a little tiny little gap here on the downside. Tiny little, really little gap on the upside. So nothing to be excited about, nothing great happening today. The chart is kind of showing us that we're more likely to break out to the upside as far as breakouts go today, but it's not. The gap is telling us that it's not anything we want to be really even looking at. And, you know, there's still the downside possibility as well on all three. I'm just saying that the top side is more likely to break, just because if you go look at the price action here, you can see typically what happens when you're going to break to either side is you'll see the 30-minute range kind of form around that side. And today we're pretty close to that top side. So if we were looking to take a trade, the 30-minute range is sitting pretty nicely for the upside. However, the downside, it's pretty far from. That doesn't mean it can't break down. That's just something we've been kind of looking at in terms of, you know, figuring out how well the trade is kind of going to produce here. And obviously, there's no trade today, so we're not too worried about it breaking either way. You did get that break to the downside. Got the close on the Predator, so kind of waiting for a close here, and then we'll see if we can get another close. And yeah, more than likely we'll continue down. We could also come down and just hit this daily support here and come back up, kind of a little bit of a magnet trade down to here. Obviously, we're not looking to take anything because it's out of our system. But yeah, you guys got any questions or anything like that? Testing, looks like Spirit Maker has one. Could we be testing to the 68.2 level today? 68.2. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, support level from last week. Yeah, you can see the support here. If we go ahead and mark it out, that's around 68.2. You can see it came down, hit it there, bounced off of it, had a nice wick. Then we came down, retested it here, ended up breaking through it here. Couldn't get through it there, couldn't get through it there. Came down, this one, we just ripped right through it and ripped right back up through it. And then we came down and tested it here before breaking off again. So is there a possibility we come down and test that? Absolutely. There's probably another level around here somewhere we could come down and test if we're really looking at it. So could we break down and test these two? We definitely could. You can see there's still some liquidity down here at 67,300 area. I haven't looked at Bookmap today, but we can go ahead and pull that up and see what that is thinking about it. Yeah, there's a possibility we break down to there, come down and retest the levels. There's a possibility we just kind of stay around here and don't really do much of anything in terms of, yeah, just like actual price action, kind of picking direction and moving. We'll just kind of have to watch throughout the day. Yeah, as of right now, there's not a whole lot moving on our system, at least. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah, let me know if you guys have any more questions. Don't got any coffee today, just water. I already drank the coffee for the day, so we just got water. It's warming up a little bit here. Oh, there we go. Nice little drop. Maybe we are going to drop down there today. Right now we're kind of testing this low right here on these candles. We'll probably break that. It's probably not very great resistance. Yeah, there's not a whole lot resistance wise there, so, or support wise there. So we'll go ahead and probably break that. Continue down lower, maybe go past this 15 level. Yeah, the other thing that we're actually working on with this new indicator that I was talking about is it'll be able to, since it will have the levels for the whole week, we're basically, we also have support from last week around 69,395. Yeah, that would line up pretty closely with that 200. I guess it's not that close. 395. Maybe the 200 like yesterday. Yeah, there's a possibility that that's pretty close to where I marked it, I think. Okay, maybe not. A little bit off. A little bit off. That's kind of more this high than the highest I picked. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Yeah, trade, it'd be the target too if the short was there. So the way Streamer probably figured that out is he used Fibonacci. So if you want to go ahead and set up your Fibonacci, you can use those for levels. So TP2 would be around here, 69,415. So pretty close to what he's talking about. Yeah, that's from, he's getting the support levels from the indicator that we're working on building, that I was kind of mentioning at the beginning. We got our whole bunch of different levels in here basically, so you can put the levels in for every day, and you can't have them on here all at the same time. It just gets one, messy and confusing, and at first that's kind of what we were trying to do, and then we were like, this is confusing and messy and just too much. So essentially what Streamer Anchor came up with is that we instead have this button down here, show autumn shaded battle zones, and basically what it does is it'll take, it'll look at all the levels for the week, and then it will take the ones that have 3 lines kind of lined up in the same area, and it will highlight that as a zone. and they have to have I forget what it is. You can actually change it on here. So we got we need 3 lines for the zone, and then we got a 0.2% gap sensitivity. So as long as they're within 0.2% of each other, all the 3 lines being there, it'll throw a zone up there. And he has his on there from last week. I'm just kind of building mine out as I go. But if you look at the zones from last week, it's about this zone right here, or sorry, the 69 300 level. So right here under the T target 2 for today. That's kind of where one of the zones is, and then the other zone is that other one we were talking about down here under 68,000 level-ish. So yeah, I mean, overall, that's kind of why he's looking at those levels. That's why we're more than likely looking at those levels if we're talking about looking at as to where it could go today. It just will really depend on how price action plays out. If we're gonna come back up and kind of hold above this line, then we're more than likely just going to go back into our range and kind of trade sideways most of the day. We do have that possibility, though, like we were talking about, of breaking down and continue down to that 69 300 level. So I don't know, it's kind of, we'll see what happens here. Like I said, really we're just watching the charts today, though. It's just kind of sit back and relax kind of day. The kind of days, you don't really have to, don't really even have to be around your computer. You just kind of, yeah, I mean, you can kind of just look at it and be like, all right, well, it's not setting up today, and kind of just walk away from that. It's just kind of the day you're just sitting back and, yeah, just chillaxing and watching the chart, seeing what kind of price action plays out. But yeah, because of that, it's not super interesting. Not a whole lot to check out. Not a whole lot to look at. Yeah, there is another zone right around here, around this, right above target 2. There's a little bit of a zone kind of forming here that could be the possibility. Just, yeah, there's definitely the possibility here. We're not, I don't know, we'll see what happens though. Like I said, a lot of just watching price action play out. Maybe you could do some fake paper trading. Obviously, you're not even really paper trading because technically you shouldn't be in this at all. So just looking at the possibility of a trade, I guess, coming down to here, taking a little 1-to-1 or so down to target 2. Stops a little bit off, I guess. Technically, you'd have your stop up here. But we'll throw it there for good measure, I guess, make a little bit better risk to reward on our fake trade. But yeah, like even paper trading, if you're trying to follow our system, this is not our system. So yeah, just more for fun, I guess, and to just kind of track the market. But yeah, not a whole lot happening today. So unfortunately, we'll have to. Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have anything really going on. The system's not set up today, so we'll have to check back in tomorrow. Be back on the live. We'll be back at about 8:30 tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. and we'll be live again. Hopefully, have a better trade set up for the day. Typically, Wednesday is one of the best trading days of the week, so we'll have to see what happens there. Just really depends on the week. So, yeah, we'll check it out tomorrow. We'll see what's going on. We'll see what's happening. see if we can get into anything. Spirit Maker says ETH seems to be holding better than BTC. Yeah, it does seem to be holding better. That could be a sign that we're not actually really going to break down here on BTC. Again, that's why it's hard to take the trades today. It's just not a trading day, you know. It's not setting up with the system, so it's better to just stay away and save some money. But yeah, video's coming out at 10 o'clock, so if you guys are looking to watch that video, see where price is at, see why we think that was the bottom there, bottom here kind of forming, and why we think we're looking to continue up for going into maybe next month, well, into this month, kind of moving into next month. Yeah, just check it out. We'll be covering that in that video, and then we'll also have a couple other TA hints and just stuff like that. So yeah, if you guys are looking to learn some, check out that. If you're looking to just kind of see where price action's at and what we're thinking about it, check it out as well. Even if you're just looking to see maybe like how your investments are doing or something like that, you want to check in on price action, it's a good little cover on all of that. So yeah, check out our video coming out at 10. And then again, we will be live here at 8:30 a.m. CST. So I don't know what time that is for you, but 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time for us is when we'll be live. So check us out. Hopefully we'll have a better trade tomorrow. We'll be able to jump into the system, get something out of it, maybe take something live. We will see. Don't forget to hit those likes, hit the subscribe button if you're not already. Really helps out our channel, helps us get out to more people. Yeah, just thanks for watching, and we will hope to catch you all tomorrow. Happy trading to y'all.